Yo, YouTube, top of the morning, what's going on, y'all? Back here with the Gifted by God's Ministries, man, and we out here in nature. All right, y'all, I wanted to get back into the topic of what I was saying. The topic of this video, man, is going to be identifying gang stalkers and identifying mobbing and all of the, like, just slick stalking that be going on with the chosen ones. I was saying, y'all, what they do, purposely leave trash in the area that you're in, whether it's your house or whether it's somewhere you're walking. Like, they'll follow you aisle to aisle. Let's say you're in the store and they'll purposely pick up the same exact thing that's in your hands, and then what they'll do is they'll leave the wrapper or leave the trash like exactly in the path that they know you're gonna walk. You're gonna walk, you know, so that you can see it. But a lot of times we blow it off and just think, oh, it's you know, somebody just likes the same chips I like. No, this is it's all mental games, okay? It's to try to break you mentally so that they can try to break you physically. And that's why you have to rebuke it, you have to cancel it, you have to stay sober-minded, aware, but don't acknowledge everything, okay? And when I say that is, like, I know what they're doing right now, but is it gonna steal my energy? No, because they wanna get your energy so that they can continue to, you know, just mess with you, right? Because like I said, you're basically, as a chosen one, as a gifted person, you're basically, you know, you're basically in a test subject, which is the world, right, of the worldly things. And you're basically on like a project lab where they're doing constant tests on you, the subject, to see what your strongness is, what your weakness is, and what you react to, and what you like. Okay, so if you think that these people don't know what you like, think again, because they know what you like. Like, everybody's in on it, man. You can't trust anybody. And I know this is not going to be something that y'all are going to want to hear, because it's not pretty. It's ugly, but you have to understand how the realm works. You know, you have to constantly guard yourself and stay prayed up. Like I said, everybody's in on it. That's why you have to change yourself and totally be reborn, totally rebrand yourself constantly, because they know what they know what you like. So they'll send and give you the stuff that you like to try to lure you in. They'll send certain people into your life, like these men or these women, whether it's a friend or a relationship or a business partnership or whatever, right? Or it's a material thing like a car, some shoes or whatever you like, right? They'll send that in. See, are you gonna give in? Like, what are you gonna do? So, for example, like, since I'm a man, they'll send, you know, and I had to learn this lesson real quick. They'll send a woman, and you'll think that she's a woman of God. You'll think that she's perfect. And you have to understand that these characters that they make, because they're all clones, they're not even clones, they're just made up characters to a certain extent. Some of them are clones, but most of it is like made up characters. So they'll basically send these people come into your life, because like I said, God will send the right people into your life and you'll know. And then you also have the fake kingdom. They'll send people into your life to make it seem like that they're sent from God, and then to try to bait you in. So you have to use your discernment. You have to stay sober-minded. You have to fast and pray and wear the full armor of God at all times, so that you can understand and understand what's going on. Because like I said, they're pretty good. I mean, this is what they do. This is how they make their money. You have to understand that these corporations owe you. You're like, why me? It's just little on me. Corporations, they have, you know, they have money, they have, you know, positions, they have municipalities and power and all this type of stuff in the world. They don't have any power in the spiritual world, but in this realm, they have, you know, they have what they have. So they use it to their advantage. Be surprised. There's people that they don't get paid anything because they're made up characters. And then you have the real people, they do get salaries. to watch you and gang stalk you. You know, everybody's in on it. Your city, your council's in on it. Your governor, they're in on it. Police department, military, they're in on it. You know, everybody's in on it. And you'll be like, well, it's just the government, or it's, you know, just stay away from certain people, or it's not a race thing, y'all. What they do is they start this the day that you're born. Okay, so before you can even walk, before you can even talk, if you're really a threat, right, they will already contact your family, and they'll already be like, here's some money, this and that. And that's why you wonder, like, damn, how did my parents, how are they able to afford this? And they told me that they're struggling. Like, how did they get this, you know? And you'll think it's like a blessing from God, and the whole time it's a blessing from some other shit, you know? So I say you can't trust anybody, man. You know, walk alone in this journey. Trust your girlfriend. You can't trust anybody. You can't even trust your wife. You can't trust anybody. You know, you could trust your kids, but after your kids grow a certain age, you wouldn't even be able to trust them, because they're going to be used as well to basically stalk you and get information on you. Because what happens is they basically use these people to watch what you're doing, and they have cameras in their eyes and all type of stuff. I thought my parents for the longest weren't in on it. You know, I thought everybody was against me except them. And then I came to the realization that even they're in on it. Once you basically pull back and separate yourself from everybody, their operation starts to fall, and then you'll see people will walk out of your life and they won't contact you or try to get back in your life, and they'll try to contact you because they realize like what's going on. Because you have to understand that these people, you know, whether it's your family, friends, or co-workers, or boss, or somebody that you know, you have to understand that basically they get paid, okay? They get paid a really good salary. I mean, these people are making hundreds and thousands of dollars to do this. Some of them do it for free because, you know, that's just what they want to do. But most of them get paid or get raises or get gifts or get position of power, just all type of weird shit. They get these offers up front. You know, it could be a woman that's sent into your life. You're like, dang, this chick or this guy, he looks good. I'm giving an example. I'm not speaking about a guy, but for you women out there that listen to this video, this girl or this guy, they look good. They're throwing themselves at me. I'm not having to chase them. They want me. And, you know, you have to ask yourself, who sent you? That's what a lot of times I ask these people when it sounds too good to be true. I'd be like, who sent you? And a lot of times they expose themselves, because what happens is they take the oath, they take the money up front, okay? And so they have to deliver on the promises and the surveillance that they're taking, right? They have to deliver on the task and the job that they're assigned, okay? So once you figure out what's going on and you break that, and you go no contact, you distance yourself, you get away from them, you cut these people off, you move differently, you stop leaving the house, you stop doing this and that. Well, eventually their time starts to run out on their contract. And so what happens is the moment that you blow the operation for these certain people, because everybody has their different operation, right? They're all in on it. But everybody has a different task. Everybody has a different operation. So once you blow, or once you start to make the operation fall, what happens is they can't collect their next payment. Or if they do get their next payment, they have to give, you know, something harder. So for example, it's like when they make a deal with these, you know, these entities and these orcons and these watchers and you know, the private societies and then all these, you know, all this goofy shit, right? They get the stuff. If they're getting intel on you, information on you, they're gonna keep getting the payments, they're gonna keep getting the raise, they're gonna keep moving up in the ranking. But once you catch on, and once you decide to stop letting them get that information, right, then they start losing their pay, they start losing their contracts, and so they either go to a whole nother level to get the information on you. But if it's no new information and it's nothing that they can use against you, then what happens is, you know, the enemy, he collects the people that make deals with him, right? So you know what that means, right? You know, that's why you see a lot of your people that you know, they just end up deceased and end up gone and all type of shit because like of unnatural causes. It's often or your enemies or your friends or whoever, you know, whoever that you know of, right? It don't have to be somebody close to you. It could be a coworker, it could be a boss, it could be a random person that knows you but you don't really know them. Okay, a lot of times these people end up in these situations, you know, and you know that's what happens to them, and then they go on to the next person and on to the next person. So this is something that you can't run away from, you can't shy away from. You know, especially when you wake up, like I said, a notification goes off in the demonic realm. And so definitely try everything, you know. People that are like, well, I'm gonna just stay at home, I'm gonna just work from home. Find a way to bypass that too, you know. They'll wait for you to leave home to try to get in your shit, or they'll be bold enough to send these fake vans, these fake maintenance people, fake electricians, you know, Google Fiber, all this bullshit. They'll send these people to basically install cables, install hidden cameras, hidden microphone, and they'll put this in wherever you live at. With your parents or living with somebody, they'll do that as well to compromise where you're at. So they wanted, the whole goal is to know what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're fun to do, so that they can plan around that to try to, you know, delay or attack. This is pretty much what they do. You definitely know what's going on. They're definitely gonna try to pick up it even more. As long as you close all those doors, as long as you know, pray to God, switch up your times, be ahead of, I always try to not be on time, don't run late either, but try to be ahead of time, right? So try to get to where you're going an hour early to throw them off, or try to show up late as hell to throw them off. Because when you tell the people what time you're gonna be there, you're also telling the enemy what time you're gonna be there. And so, I mean, this is what they do, y'all. And rebuke them, and stay prayed up, stay wearing the full armor of God, speak good over your life so that they cannot gang stalk you the way that they want to. But this is the stuff that you have to claim constantly and say. And when you do these things, they will not be able to gang stalk you the way that they were. What you got to do, y'all, just stay prayed up. We'll make a part 2 to this video, but I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed day and continue to keep God first. Walk by faith, not by sight. And all praise, all glory to the Most High. Peace.